Okay. Okay. So this is gonna be a little bit of a pilot episode. I know I've had variations of this podcast in the past. Um, I've brought it back a couple of different times, but I've really thought about kind of what I wanted to do with it. Um, Before I felt like it had to be like a certain length and it had to be about certain topics. Um, and really, kind of obviously, what I realized the problem I was having with it was I didn't like the restrictions that I was putting on myself. Um, so yeah, there's gonna be a couple of different. It's not gonna be like vastly different from previous iterations of this podcast. Um, Sorry, let me turn up my mic a little bit right there. Okay, it's gonna be very similar to how the podcast has been in the past. If you weren't aware, the way I had it before was it was mostly just Twitch and gaming news and talking about upcoming games. Super boring. If I have to critique myself, in my opinion, that's boring. Not to say that we're not going to talk about those things. Of course, those are very clearly interests to me. I stream on Twitch and I like video games, so I'm going to talk about those. But I mean, as you can see, the title of today's podcast is E3 and ice cream. So ice cream comes up at some point. All right. Ice cream comes up at some point in today's podcast. I'm not going to say in what way and in when, but it does. But we are going to talk about E3. We're going to talk about Twitch. It's kind of old news, but Twitch bringing or testing subscriber only broadcasts. I think there's a lot that can be said about that. What else? There is some StarCraft drama. I'm not bringing up the StarCraft drama because of StarCraft. I'm bringing it up because it brings up a topic that I find interesting. I'm not bringing up the StarCraft drama to talk about StarCraft drama. I'm bringing up StarCraft drama to talk about the topic in general that the drama revolves around. If that makes sense. How are you doing, Empty? I thought you were going to eat ice cream. Nope, no ice cream. Right, we're not eating the ice cream. We're talking about something ice cream related. It's a very important topic that might get some heated, you know, might get some heated, topic. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Heated discussion, heated debate. People might start throwing fists. I don't know. Two girls, one cup. Yeah, man. Exactly. Sorry you're up all night though, my dude. But yeah, let me just. I don't have a lot of time today. This is this is going to be a pilot episode, like I said, and it's going to be kind of a shorter one. I'm also with these podcasts not going to put a. Before I wanted the podcast to be like at least 2 hours, and like after listening to people's podcasts, I've been really into podcasts recently, as anybody knows. I talk about them. I think probably too much. um, I you don't they don't need to be long to be good. Like there's a podcast. It's called the Philosophize. What's it called? It's a philosophy podcast. Um, and it's like 20 minutes every other week, and this guy has like a billion patrons. Um, and so I'm not like that guy. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about philosophy. That's not what I'm saying. But he made me realize that you don't need to have like these incredibly long form podcasts. Before my head, for some reason, I thought that they had to be long. They don't. They can be 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever it needs to be, right? As long as it is nutritious with entertainment. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about any sort of algorithm. So I'm not even trying to conform to anything like that. I just want to just make it from start to finish a full conversation, or you know, I don't know. Yeah, just like a full. I want it to be full is like the word that comes to my head. I don't want it to be full of breaks and shit like that. I just want it to be hour, 30 minutes, whatever it has to be, and it's consistently entertaining throughout the whole thing. And that's kind of the philosophy I'm going into with my streams too. I just want them to be, you know, I just want it to be an entertaining stream, not going to be a long stream, but at least it'll be a nice quality piece of content. That's what I care more about now. I don't care about the length. I cared so much before in the past about the length of things. That sounds wrong. About the length of content. I don't know why I would stress so much about streams being certain lengths and YouTube videos being certain lengths and stuff like that. Yeah. So Empty stopped caring about his length in his mid-20s. It is what it is. Yeah, you live with what you got, right? Anyway, mini rant aside, I do want to talk about the thing here that I know it's a little bit old news, but with Twitch at testing subscriber only broadcasts, I it's interesting. This is an article. I'll put links in chat, and I'll also put links into YouTube descriptions and stuff if I'm ever referencing in any sort of article. Um, I find this super fucking interesting, and I'm also incredibly shocked that this hasn't happened already. And I also don't necessarily understand the backlash. Um, yeah, and that's the thing. And Empty brought it up right away. I can't really see many people utilizing this, and that's why I don't understand the backlash behind this. Um, yeah, it's like a Patreon, right? I would see if I was to use this, I would utilize this as kind of like how I utilize my subscriptions on Twitch, where if you are at certain tiers of subscriber, because I mean the reason why I did this is because I don't feel like subscribing to somebody on Twitch, other than the fact that you're supporting them monetarily, gets you very much. Like the trade isn't very good, so I at least try to give people something a little bit more than, especially as an affiliate where you don't get that many more emotes. I try to give them something, right? Speaking of which, thank you. Thank you for that. I try to give them a little something more. So if you're like a tier 2 subscriber, you would get more. Like, I mean, we can just go look at it, right? So for me personally, if like tier 2 subscribers get, right, so they get, like, if you want to hang out, you get that, you can chill with me, play whatever the fuck game you want. Just, I don't have any tier 2 subs, but I will say I have honored this in the past, right? Want to hang out, play some games and shit? Hell yeah, dude, let's go. You give me money, I'll do it, right? I'm not saying that you need to pay me to hang out with me, hang out with all the people on Discord, but this is like a reserved thing, right? Tier 3, you get special roles in Discord, and you get like a personalized command. I didn't want to go full shill with this stuff, right? People go way wild with this. This is just like, it's just something extra because I genuinely don't feel like subscribing to me unless you're doing it to support me, which if you do, thanks. Cool. I really appreciate it. I don't feel like subscribing to me offers very much. So what I would do if I was to ever utilize this, I don't think I would ever utilize it. I would do like how Liz mentioned, like Patreon style things where subs one day out of the month get access to a titty stream, So like that's the use that I would personally get out of this. At what tier do we get access to the premium Snapchat? I don't have that, but I mean, if I have your consent, Liz, I'll set up a premium Snapchat and show everyone my ball sack. Um, so yeah, and if it, I can't ever, because like with streaming, right? You're actively losing viewers, subscribers, followers, everything when you're not streaming, right? Kind of a terrifying thought. You're actively losing all of those things if you're not streaming. So, like, if you were to be a subscriber only streamer, you're just cutting off yourself from growing. And you're probably just going to go down from there. I think it would be almost suicidal for a streamer to switch over to some, especially a larger streamer, right? Like, you're already at the top. Like, what the fuck? Like, why would you do that? There's no point. If you're doing it to moderate your chat and to moderate the experience because you don't want a bunch of random people that find you on the directory, then, oh, sorry, hiccups. I feel like Twitch has really stepped up their game with moderation tools. There's sub-only chats. There's also outside extensions that you can do to help moderate your chat. You can make your chat emote only. There's a lot of things you can do to stop those random people from coming in and ruining your experience. Yeah, like, only people that use this are people who have a fuck ton of subs. The only, like, if I was like a big streamer and I wanted to utilize this to gain more subs, I would pretty much do what I said, like how I would utilize it, and say, all right, guys, at the end of every month, there is a special Q&A stream, or like Lyric, for example, the streamer Lyric, he has a thing where he pulls people in from a Discord channel and he'll like chat with them, and those are really popular because, you know, it's Lyric gets to chat with his fans over the mic. You know, it's really cool. If they said at the end of the month, I have a subscriber only stream where I do these Discord Q&As and you can talk with me and only subscribers can be there, one day out of the month, I feel like that would be a good way to then get a boost of subscribers. Like you mentioned it, like the last week of the month, and people start subscribing because they want to see that. But if you're like 5 days out of the week, I'm going to be a subscriber only streamer, I'd be like, no, no one's going to watch that. Like, you're just going to kill your channel. That's the only functional way I can see this being used, is if you use it very sparingly. Or if you run some sort of like really exclusive style of content, like Giant Bomb, for example, which is a video game, I guess, website, like, right? They have a subscription service where you can only see their videos if you're subscribed, right? Kind of like a Netflix system. You pay a monthly fee, and that is how you can see the content. So like, if you somehow have that viewer base that is already accustomed to that, to paying for your content, then I feel like you could probably transition over to using Twitch subscriber only viewing for that content. Also funny how bad the Twitch UI is still. Yeah, and yeah, right. It's I mean, they're just testing it. This isn't released. I don't even think Twitch has an official comment on this. It's just people found out that they were testing it. So yeah, I mean, I really don't have much more to say. It's just, I feel like the only viable way to use this is if you use it very sparingly, or you already have a community that is used to paying for content. But if we know anything, is that people feel like they're entitled to content. So, you know, this isn't going to like change many people's streams, except for very specific situations, in my opinion. In my opinion. It's interesting though, and I'm also, like I said, very shocked that it hasn't happened sooner. I'm also curious to see if like shows are coming to Twitch. Like, that's what I think would be kind of game changing if like shows like you have to be subscribed to like twitch.tv/A&E and you can watch their subscriber only like live PD stream, you know, like that. Obviously that's a hypothetical situation. But you know, that idea is something that could come up from this, or like some sort of like pay-per-view. I mean, they've had pay-per-view things on Twitch, so this just seems like the next step in that. Also, update: Liz does not give me permission to put my balls on Snapchat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, and they have the marathon shows, but I mean, like, Twitch has had like pay-per-view events, like eSports events that you have to pay to watch. Oh, what's up, Eric? How you doing, my dude? So that's why, yeah, the Liz cucking the chat. You guys don't get to see my balls. I'm sorry. So yeah, I think this is really interesting. We'll see what comes out of it. I don't think I'll ever get any use out of this, but this is the most recent bit of Twitch news, and I like to keep up with live streaming news. So yeah, that's that topic. That's that topic. Let's see what else we got. So bringing up the StarCraft drama. Yeah, I agree with Asaku too. They probably just felt like they had to do it as well because YouTube has it. But moving on, I wanted to talk about this because it brings up an interesting topic. Now, I don't want to get into the thick of this drama. I just think that like I mentioned, that what happens in other gaming communities, and it's an interesting topic. Yeah, Peroto's coming down for CEO this year, so he gets to pet the ferrets. I thought the SE drama was that the game's canceled. No. This isn't the StarCraft drama. So let me simplify this story for you guys, okay? And then we'll get into the topic that I wanna just speak on. There was a StarCraft. No, this isn't Overwatch. This is StarCraft. There is a StarCraft caster named Fear Dragon. As you can see, this is teamliquid.net. I will post the link in chat. Teamliquid.net is like the hub of StarCraft, right? This website's been around for ages, forever. So that's why he made this post on here. This is like the StarCraft website, where people make community posts and stuff. So what happened was Fear Dragon is a community organizer. Fear Dragon's a community organizer. He made a bunch of tournaments. He did a lot of really neat stuff for StarCraft. He pretty much ran tournaments out of his own pocket for years. And so finally, what happened was he got hired by WCS. What WCS is, it's StarCraft's official league that's ran by Blizzard, and he got invited to cast it because he's done so much for the community. He casts all his own events, so he got invited to cast this event. Fear Dragon, I mean, like, this is the case for all sorts of commentators and all sorts of games, isn't the most knowledgeable person, right? He's super passionate. He obviously plays the game, but he's not some sort of grandmaster player, right? So when he's commentating for WCS, which is a big event, he was, as you can see here, like, these are to get to the cut to the chase, he quit casting and is quitting StarCraft content on a whole, which is a damn shame because he did a lot of good shit for this community. Because reason one, he was having a lot of self-confidence issues with his casting because he got a lot of people were harassing him, making fun of him, saying that his commentary sucked. He also had a huge issue with cancer in his family, so he had to, he's dealing with that. He can't say how much, was getting underpaid for his work. And so it was just a combination of a lot of different things where it was mostly like pro players and other casters putting him in an uncomfortable situation because he's super passionate. He's been running these tournaments, but when he's casting, he doesn't have all the information. He might say something wrong. And StarCraft people are serious. They're really serious. And so, like, if you say something wrong about a player and, like, say, I don't know, like, say they're going for a certain build and Fear Dragon would say that they're going for a different build and then they end up losing and then the people like then that player thinks that the people think he lost because of something else, and it's a lot of nothing. And it made me really think about, because it happens in every game, right? Any game that has a competitive scene where there's like casters that get shit for not being the most knowledgeable, but like what is the balance between like being knowledgeable and just being like a really fucking important and like passionate person, right? I think that, yeah, I agree with you, MT. When you're getting paid to cast, you need to know your stuff. And let me just say this. I watch a lot of WCS, so I watched a lot of his casting. Not once was I personally like, wow, this guy's dumb as fuck. I never once thought that. I'm not a top tier StarCraft player. I know almost everything about StarCraft. I've been playing it for years. It's my favorite game of all time. I know everything about it pretty much. I'm up to date with the meta. I watch GSL every morning. Ask Liz when she calls me and it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm getting ready for work. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm watching the best Koreans in the world play. I still ladder every now and then. That's to say, I'm not like a pro. I just know a lot about the game. And I've never once been offended by his casting, right? Yeah, and I think MT nailed it. People don't know how to give criticism. And like there's like people tweeting at this man, pro players tweeting at this man who was for a long while before he got recruited to the WCS team to cast, was paying like these people's rent. Like he was running these tournaments out of his own pocket. And like it just seemed like a really fucked up way to treat someone for me personally. But like just to get off of this specific drama is like, what is the balance, right? Like in StarCraft, usually you cast in pairs, and typically you have like the analytical person and you have like the hype person. If you want to go like StarCraft, you have like Tasteless and Artosis. I would say for like fighting games, like Sajam and Tasty Steve is like a good combo, right? Like Sajam is super knowledgeable. Tasty Steve obviously is like a hype man. Not to say that Tasty Steve doesn't know his stuff. He clearly does, but I would lean towards Tasty Steve being a hype man first before before like the fact guy. I feel like Sajam is the one busting out the frame data way before Tasty Steve ever does. Yeah, like Yipes and Neo, shit like that, right? There's these very clear dynamics. And I never once saw Fear Dragon try and claim to be this incredible analyst, caster. He never tried to be that. He might predict something wrong, but so does Artosis on a daily basis, right? When I'm watching Artosis cast StarCraft, on a daily basis, he says something wrong. Yeah, like Tasty Steve is literally screaming, "This is good ass tech" in every round, and people eat that shit up, which I love it too. Like I love it too. But yeah, as MT said, commentary is very difficult. This is his first time commentating for a big event like WCS, which runs over months, right? They wanted him to be so consistent over months, and like it's not reasonable, right? Everyone has to start somewhere, and it's a shame. It's a shame, honestly. I know a lot of people in the chat are really going to know what I'm talking about, but he really did a lot for the community, and it made me think about other people who maybe tried their best, but they just got bullied out of the position. Um, I guess that kind of comes into question how much you really want it, and how much you're able to get over those obstacles to then prove those people wrong. And I think that's just a case by case basis, right? Um, but it made me think about it, and I know that like in fighting games, there's definitely casters that get shit. I don't want to like name drop anyone. There's definitely casters that get shit. Counter Strike, there's definitely casters that get shit. And I'm sure those are the three games that I'm aware that I'm like kind of in the know of. I'm definitely in the know of like fighting game casters and StarCraft casters. I still watch Counter Strike here and there. Like I was watching it this morning, but I don't watch it as much as I used to, or play it as much as I used to, and maybe play like a game, like 1 or 2 games a week. But I know for a fact that there is also Counter Strike casters that get shit for maybe doing a wrong call, right? And it just seems very unreasonable. Like compared to especially real sports, where I wish I had my friend Jordan in the chat, who is very knowledgeable on things like basketball and football. The sports commentators literally are constantly wrong, and everyone just kind of accepts it as like a factor of being a commentator. Like it's bound to happen, right? And so it's very strange to me that people would bully somebody who did so much for the StarCraft community out of commentating because he said some things wrong. That not even like said things wrong as in like he said offensive things. He like made like the wrong prediction. Like it's so like disgusting to me. It's really gross. I'm not happy about it. I just wanted to talk about it because I know it's a thing that happens in other games too, where people kind of get shit for making like the wrong call and stuff. Really, just to close this out, like one of the clips that was, I wish I could find it. I'm sorry, I don't have it available. I'll see if it's in this thread somewhere. Here's the clip in question, but I don't have the link, unfortunately. Um, it's a screenshot of a post. Oh, but here's an example. Here's a screenshot. This is another StarCraft community like leader, not leader, but he like this is a post from Rifkins. Oh my god, my voice. Rifkins, who commentates StarCraft and runs tournaments himself in a very similar situation. And look at this book he wrote about. I really hate to say it because I like the guy, but more and more I feel like Fear Dragon adds nothing of value to the team. Bro, what the fuck? Lift your fellow community members up. Like, what is wrong? Especially in a game like StarCraft, that I know StarCraft dead meme or dead game meme is funny. It's not necessarily a dead game, but it's not as popular as it used to be, right? It's not as popular as it used to be. It's still popular. I argue that it's probably Blizzard's most stable game because everything else Blizzard's doing is going up in fucking flames recently. StarCraft has like no issues. So I like to argue that StarCraft is one of their most stable games. But like, dude, why? Right? If you really have a problem with the dude's commentary, message him and ask and offer your assistance, right? I don't know how well Fear Dragon handles criticism like that. I don't know the guy. I just watched his commentary and watched the tournaments that he ran. But, not to go on too long on this topic, it's just something I wanted to talk about because it kind of pissed me off. And I know it's relevant to other competitive games as well. And if you're someone who gives a caster a lot of shit for saying something wrong, then you probably have never tried casting before or streaming. That's my 2 cents. I'm sorry. I went on a little bit of a rant, but that's okay. So, anyway, moving on. I wanted to just briefly go over E3 and let you guys know which conferences I'm excited for and all that jazz. So here is the E3 schedule I have here. Just right off the bat with E3 this year, I think everyone can kind of agree that the hype has died down a little bit because I think game companies are kind of realizing that they don't need E3 anymore. Um, like the Death Stranding stream just kind of solidified to me that if you're an established game dev or established video game related company that has a big following, that you don't need conventions and press conferences anymore. You can just load up a stream and get hundreds of thousands of eyes and get trending on Twitter in an instant. You don't need to pay exorbitant amounts of money for an E3 presentation anymore. And I think a lot of people are realizing that, which is kind of sucks as someone who likes watching E3. I think a lot of people would agree that E3 it used to feel, I don't know if it feels like this as good as this anymore, but it used to feel like exciting and like Christmas, right? It's like video game Christmas. You go, okay, it's E3 weekend, not doing anything this weekend. I'm just going to watch these conferences and be super hype. It's going to be great. I'm not saying that's not going to happen this year, but it's definitely not as hype as it used to feel. For me personally, I don't know if I'm projecting. Please let me know if I am. I don't think I am. It's kind of the general consensus that I've gathered from other people as well. But here, let's go down the list. Let's go down the list and let's talk about what I'm interested in here. I will try to stream the conferences. I don't think I'll be able to stream every single one of them, but I will try to stream the ones I'm at least interested in. They had the Stadia conference on June 6th. Going to be honest, don't care. Didn't watch it. Didn't really follow any of the news. This already passed. I'm not interested in the Stadia at the moment. So moving on. They had the EA conference is actually the first one. It's not even really a conference, if I'm remembering correctly. They're not at E3. They just have a stream for E3, which is kind of along the lines of what I was talking about before. It's at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That's, I guess, Pacific time, so 12 o'clock Eastern time. EA they're promising more gameplay in this stream. I'm curious if all the gameplay is going to be Madden and FIFA and The Sims. I guess they're going to talk about some Apex Legends stuff. I'm vaguely interested in the Star Wars game. Not necessarily a Star Wars fan personally. I'm not really into that universe, but if it's a good game, then it's a good game, and I might be interested in it. I've enjoyed Star Wars games in the past, so I'm feeling I probably won't stream this conference. Just it's not exactly interesting to me. I will watch it for sure, but as you can see here, they have a schedule. EA Play 2019 at 9 a.m., 9:30. They have Star Wars stuff. Then they have Apex stuff, some new Battlefield stuff. I hope these new maps are free because I probably won't pay for them if they're. I have Battlefield 5. I actually quite enjoyed Battlefield 5, contrary to a lot of people's opinions on it. A lot of people didn't really enjoy Battlefield 5. I liked it. I put about like 80 hours into it, just casually playing. So hopefully these new maps are free because that's definitely why I stopped playing, because the map rotation got a little old. Then some Madden stuff. And actually, I grew up playing The Sims. So I will pay attention to the Sims stuff. I like the Sims. I enjoy it. Um, so Sims, the most recent Sims, Sims 4 was kind of disappointing. So this says the Sims 4 news. I could have swore I read somewhere that it was a new Sims game, but maybe they're making changes to the Sims 4 that are actually going to make me play the game again, because Sims 4 was unique in some ways, but also incredibly restrictive in others. I won't really get into it, but it was kind of disappointing. Um, so yeah. Sorry, I was getting a drink of water. Oh, can you guys still see me? I just got a text from Liz saying, "Oh, the chat froze on screen." It did. That's okay. I can't fix it right now. I'm unable to fix it. Anyway, Microsoft conference. This is actually, I mean, like looking through. Okay, I don't know if this is going to be a hot take. I think that Microsoft is probably going to have one of the better conferences this year. Is that edgy? Is that like a hot take or like something stupid to say? Um, they've been like kind of improving, at least PR wise, their position on things. Like they've just gone out and said that they're not going to restrict games anymore to the Microsoft Store. They're going to get their games on as many platforms, including PlayStation, including Steam, Epic Store, GOG, all that shit. They're going to get it on as many platforms as they can. I find that to be incredibly, user forward. I think that's a good thing. I wish more companies were like that. It's very clearly a strategy, marketing wise, to try and gain back the favor of everybody that was burned on the Xbox One, because the Xbox One is a fucking disaster. There's no question that PlayStation 4 blew Xbox One out of the water, right? I mean, like, no one plays Xbox. That's not true. A lot of people play Xbox, but there's no reason to, right? Especially if you have a PC. But they said that they're going to feature 14 games from Microsoft Studios, which Microsoft has bought a lot of studios with a lot of promise. Like they just put out Void Bastards. I don't remember the developer off the top of my head, but that game has a lot of good reception. The Xbox Game Pass is actually looking to be kind of like a good deal, especially if a lot of these games that they're announcing are on that pass. Like I think it's $10 a month and you just get access to the games. Like it sounds pretty good. Don't quote me on that. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick just so I can make sure I know what I'm talking about. But Xbox Game Pass is not bad from what I've read. Let's see. So if you pull up, this is the official website. So yeah, you get instant access. You also can get sales on some games. Let's see here. I know that like Void Bastards, like I had mentioned, was free if you have the Xbox Game Pass. And this is also coming to PC. This was limited to console, but they've announced that they are bringing the Game Pass over to PC, which is like pretty interesting. I don't think it's personally for me, but if you're interested in a lot of Microsoft's games, then I mean, I think that's a hell of a deal. I mean, you get access to a lot of games if you buy this Game Pass. So I mean, Xbox is Microsoft and Xbox are kind of, I don't want to say making a comeback, but they're definitely improving in my opinion. And the fact that it's coming to PC makes it a little bit more interesting to me, but I don't think I'll get it. But I am genuinely curious to see what Xbox and Microsoft brings to E3. I feel like if they have any chance, if they had any chance in the world to prove to people that they are on par, at least on par with Sony, then this is their time, right? This is their time to do that, and that's because PlayStation isn't there, right? It was always Microsoft against PlayStation. I think this is Microsoft's best chance of really stealing the show because they haven't stole E3. They haven't quote unquote won E3 in a long time. So I'm genuinely curious. I feel like they maybe have more of a fire up under their ass. Bethesda. What the fuck? I'm surprised Bethesda is even daring to come to E3. What are they even going to talk about? I want to stream this conference to see how much of a disaster it may be. Are there going to be like Fallout 76 protesters like throwing their shitty collector's editions on stage when Todd Howard goes out? I don't know. I'm honestly genuinely surprised that they're at E3 this year. I feel like they probably booked it and like had everything planned way before Fallout 76 shit happened. I feel like Bethesda needs to like get out of people's minds for a bit, right? Every time I'm reminded of Bethesda, I am crushed that Bethesda, my favorite game companies for the longest while was like Bethesda, Obsidian, Valve when they made games, right? And it's like slowly, man, not that Obsidian's fallen off, but Bethesda's fallen off on the games, on making their games recently. Valve obviously doesn't make games anymore. I don't know, man. What the fuck are they gonna show? They're not gonna show anything Elder Scrolls. They might show another teaser. They're not gonna show any gameplay. They have Doom Eternal. Is that really enough to carry their whole conference? I doubt it. It says here that they also have some Mikami stuff as well as some Evil Within stuff. That's pretty neat, I suppose. But we will see what happens. I have a feeling that it's going to be rough. Here's a tweet, that about Evil Within coming. I know there's a lot of Evil Within fans out there, so, this is probably exciting for some people. Anyway, moving on. Devolver Digital. I mean, I usually don't care about Devolver Digital's little, meme conference that they do. I don't find that it personally tickles my comedy fancy, I guess. It's I don't know. It just makes fun of E3. I guess that's cool, and they show like 2 Devolver games. I've enjoyed Devolver games in the past. I don't really care about this, if I'm honest. It's like, okay, you're gonna make fun of E3 for like the 3rd year in a row. It's a little bit of a dead horse. They may not do that. They may not, but I have a feeling that they're just gonna beat the dead horse again because people love it so much. Whatever. I mean, is what it is. And then there's the VR. They actually have a VR conference, which I think is really cool. I don't have a VR headset because I'm broke, but I think it's cool that VR is having its own thing. I think it deserves it. I hope. I mean, I don't have any expectations for this. I have no idea what to expect. I don't have any wishes for this because I don't have a VR headset. Maybe it will convince me to get one. And maybe they'll announce like an affordable headset. I know there are some affordable options that are coming out or are out, but they're not without their issues from what I've read. So maybe this will change my mind, but that's at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll probably watch it. I don't know if I'm going to stream it. Sorry, I haven't said which ones I was going to stream. I may or may not stream EA. I will stream the Microsoft one. I am not sure if I'll stream the Bethesda one. If I feel like I'm in the mood of streaming a possible shit show, then maybe I'll stream this. Devolver Digital, no fucking way. VR press conference is at 12. I'm leaning towards no, just because that's a little bit earlier in the day for one of my streams, but who knows. My most exciting conference, which it is almost every year for me, is the PC gaming show. Almost always the most packed in terms of announcements, because they just, I mean, look at this list. These are all the developers. Just, I don't even think this is all of them, but new reveals coming from just a laundry list of developers, right? A lot of these I fucks with, right? So Paradox, I fucks with that. Digital Extremes, I fucks with that. Tripwire, I fucks with Tripwire. Chucklefish, I fucks with Chucklefish. Like, there are some nice devs in here. So in PC Gaming Show, Day 9 is a beautiful human. They have Empty's waifu. Empty's waifu is there. Frankie. So they're going to be hosting the PC Gaming Show. I felt like it ran a little late last year. Like it ran a little long. It was like, okay, like can we condense this a little bit? But it was definitely one of my favorite shows from last year. One of my favorite conferences. I'm obviously a little biased because I'm pretty much, other than the games I play on my Switch, I'm pretty much exclusively a PC player. So, and then there's this. Someone's gonna have to tell me what this is. Limited Run Games will reveal several upcoming releases from the company, as well as its entire remaining slate for the PS Vita. I do not know what Limited Run Games is. Maybe our good friend Google will help us out here. Also, I will stream the PC Gaming Show. Sorry, forgot to mention that. Limited Run Games. Are they, like, what do they make? Talking about Vita games, so I'm assuming a lot of PlayStation content. Oh no, they have some Vita. They have some Switch stuff here. I can't say I really recognize some of these games. They have a lot of merch on their store, which is kind of strange for a game developer. Oh, they have Toe Jam and Earl. Oh, okay, it's coming back to me now who these people. Okay, all right, I understand. Okay, I'm understanding what's happening here. Okay, I mean, I can't say I'm excited for this conference, especially because they're making a Rick and Morty game. I mean, that just gives me an any pretty fast. Not exactly a big Rick and Morty fan. But I mean, I'll watch it. I don't really have much to say about it. I don't really know much about them, honest. Probably won't stream that one. Ubisoft on at 4 p.m. I'll probably stream this conference. I think Ubisoft has had a comeback. I think Rainbow Six Siege is like an amazing success story. Apparently, The Division 2 is a good game. Like, it's genuinely a really good looter shooter, better than Destiny 2 and Anthem at the moment. For Honor is a game that's still being supported, and there's regular DLC that's been coming out for that game. I'm not personally a fan of the Ghost Recon game that came out last year, but people liked it, and there's a new one, so people might be excited for that. Let's see what else they have here. And they have some Watch Dogs stuff. I personally don't play a lot of Ubisoft games. I mean, last Ubisoft game I played was Trials. But I do think that they have a lot of potential. Don't they have? Oh God, I'm blanking on the name. I shouldn't even try to bring this up. There's a game that a lot of people are excited for that they just teased last year. Why am I blanking on the name? It might come to me like after the podcast is over, but they have some interesting stuff that could be coming up. So I will probably stream this. I'm lukewarm to excited-ish about Ubisoft. They have some promise, so they generally make a decent product. So Kind of Funny Games will feature over 60 independently developed titles. Honestly, it's Kind of Funny.com stuff. Not really into their content, but you know, I'll I mean, I might forget that this exists. I genuinely don't know what this is about. It's kindoffunny.com. They, if you're not aware, here's their website here. They make like television content, or not television, sorry. They make like internet content. As you can see, they have some gaming related stuff. So I know that they have a lot of celebrity backing to this company. So maybe they've started to publish games. I don't think that they're making the games themselves, but I think they're starting to publish games. As you can see, they're also covering some news. So I know before they kind of just made internet content with some celebrities and such, but now I guess they have their own conference. That's random and interesting. I'll probably watch it. I probably won't stream it. Square Enix, which, if I remember correctly, took Sony's spot. Dying Light 2. I didn't play the first Dying Light. I was vaguely interested in it. Kind of came out at a time where I was pretty over zombie games, if I'm honest. So maybe I'll be more interested in this game. Final Fantasy VII. I know they're probably going to show more of that. They showed some. Oh, this is the Final Fantasy VII. I'm sorry. This is the Final Fantasy Shadowbringers thing. I don't know anything about this. I thought that was 7. I misread it. I know they showed some Final Fantasy VII stuff. I would be surprised if they didn't show more. Yeah, here, more information on Final Fantasy VII. It's planned for June, but Square Enix has yet to confirm if it's at E3. I guess we'll find out. I feel like they would be shooting themselves in the foot if they didn't show anything. I know they just did, but, you know, I feel like they should probably still show some. I mean, it's E3, right? You gotta bring out the big guns. Square Enix, I think, is a decently, like, they're a good game company for the most part. So I'm excited. I'll watch this and I'll stream it. So I generally like the Square Enix conference. And then finally, Nintendo. Nintendo doesn't usually have a conference. They have the streams like they normally do. Honestly, okay, we'll do that at the end of this, but I'm pretty excited for Nintendo's conference. I was going to rank which ones I'm most excited for. I'm pretty excited for Nintendo's conference. I have a Switch. I think this is a fucking genius console. I genuinely haven't liked a console ever. Like, I'm not saying that I dislike any consoles. I just didn't grow up with any consoles, right? I grew up almost exclusively playing PC games. We had an Xbox in the house, but that was my brother's. I never played it. So like, it's cool to have a console. Like, I don't know, like, and this is new to me almost. So I'm genuinely excited for what Nintendo has to show. Obviously Animal Crossing is something that everyone wants. Curious to see if they have any more Smash characters that they're going to announce. Not that I'm necessarily going to get them, but I just like to see what other things are going to be adding to that game, just because I think what they've done with Smash Ultimate is kind of incredible. And other than that, I feel like Nintendo's been kind of secretive. Maybe some more Fire Emblem stuff would be nice. I'm somewhat interested in the new Fire Emblem game just because I've never played a Fire Emblem game. And that seems like a good opportunity to try one, especially when I can like play it from bed and, you know, stuff like that. It seems comfy, you know? So there's not a lot that's out right now about what their conference, or sorry, what the Nintendo stream is going to be about, but I will probably watch it. I will watch it, and I am excited for it. But just to kind of close out the podcast tonight, I just wanted to go over what I felt I was most excited for in some sort of arbitrary list, and what I'm least excited for. Most excited for is probably PC Gaming Show. I feel like this is always the best show, in my opinion, and it has just the most content. And for me personally, it has the most devs that I care about. So, PC Gaming Show is probably what I'm most excited for. Second most excited for is probably Nintendo. Nintendo stream is probably what I'm second most excited for the things I had just mentioned. Third most excited for, just because I am genuinely curious about what they have to bring to the table, and this is kind of shocking even for me, is the Microsoft conference. I'm genuinely kind of anxious in a way to see what Microsoft's going to do. I feel like they might kick ass, or they're going to let everybody down, or it might just be like a very neutral response. But like I mentioned, if they had any chance to prove to people that they aren't a joke, which they have been for the past couple of years, now would really be the opportunity to do that. From there, probably Square Enix. They just have some titles that I'm interested in. And, I'm getting, as the stream knows, I'm getting more into JRPGs and stuff like that. So if they can bring some interesting titles to the conference, that kind of genre, then that would be nice for me, so I can get more into that world. Ubisoft would be next. I play some Ubisoft games. I think they have potential. I like their style of supporting games. Like Rainbow Six Siege had a huge turnaround and is supported incredibly. Same thing with For Honor. I don't play any of the Division 2. I don't play any Ghost Recon stuff, but if they can convince me otherwise, then we'll see. I mean, like, I guess EA. I guess EA would be next. And things are getting a little rough here. EA would probably be next on the poll for excitement. Pretty lukewarm towards EA. I think most people are. EA's conferences are usually just chock full of sports, which I don't give a fuck about sports games. So I know that that's not I'm not their audience for a lot of that, so that's fine. But that's also why they're not super high on my excited list. I mean, like, I don't even feel like it's worth saying. I'm not excited for these. Kind of funny, I'm not excited for. Limited Run, I'm not excited for. Actually, we'll put this VR thing before EA. VR presentation, I am genuinely interested in. I'm genuinely interested in this VR conference. I don't have a VR headset. I'm hoping that this conference will convince me to get one. So, VR conference, then EA conference. Devolver, I mean, like, here's the thing. We're going to put these into their own joke category. Bethesda, I'm so flaccid for that I'm just so disappointed in them as a company, because I do have an attachment to their games, and I'm not like going out on Twitter and like talking shit, but I just don't feel like they've been putting out a good product. They haven't earned any of my sort of loyalty anymore. I used to be a pretty loyal Bethesda fan and bought a lot of their games, but generally, unfortunately, just things aren't going well over there. And I don't know what they're going to show here. They have Doom. They have Evil Within. Those games are fine. I enjoyed the latest Doom in 2016. I never played Evil Within, but I know it has its fans. I know Gamegasms, or Liz is a big fan of the Evil Within. I know there are some people out there who really like it. Good for them. I but what the fuck are they gonna show, right? They're gonna tease that new Star game, that space game, and they're gonna tease Elder Scrolls. But am I the only one that's worried for those? Like, fuck's sake, man. Devolver Digital is a joke. I mean, it's just a joke conference that they're gonna probably make fun of E3 for the third year in a row and beat that dead horse. I'm gonna watch all of these streams provided I can. But this is a joke, right? I'm not in any way excited for Devolver Digital stream. It's gonna be satire most likely. And limited run and kind of funny. I'm not gonna say that, like, I'm just not aware of these. I'm not going to make fun of these or like anything like that. I'm just unaware of what these companies do. I'll watch it and let's see what they do. I'm definitely going to stream Nintendo. I'm definitely going to stream Square Enix. Probably going to stream Ubisoft. Hold on, let me just... Okay, this is at 9. I can stream that. I can stream... This is on at 12. I can probably crawl out of bed. I mean, I don't get up that late. I will be up for this. So I will probably stream it. So yeah, Nintendo will be streamed. Square Enix will probably be streamed. Ubisoft, I'll probably stream it. PC Gaming Show, I will definitely stream. VR Show, if I stream it, it's only to get some of the input from Empty and Proto and the other members of our community that are into VR stuff, like Nathan. Like, you guys are all into VR stuff, so you know this would be nice to have that information. But I'm also not exactly super motivated to stream this. Devolver, I don't care. If I stream Bethesda, it's because I'm either not playing Mortal Kombat at the time, or I want to stream this potential laughing stock with you guys. Xbox conference, I'll probably stream. EA conference, I'm on the fence. On the fence with that one. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and end the stream here and end the podcast here. I had fun. Podcast in around an hour and 6 minutes or so. I know you're streaming at the moment, but Twitch chat is down. Oh, okay. That's why chat's been dead. Thank you, Guggen. I appreciate it. Liz, if you're still watching, that's why. Thank you. I appreciate it, Guggen. Twitch chat is broken. So I hope if you're still there, I figured you guys were just listening, but if you're still there, thank you for watching. I hope, let me know in the Discord what you guys think. I don't get Discord notifications, so if you guys were popping off on the chat not working, you've been responding this whole time. So yeah, people in the Discord are talking. I'm sorry. I see you. Empty. I see you, Guggen. I see you, Zach. You're all in there. I thought chat was just dead, but it turns out no, yeah, I was okay, yeah, so you guys were probably correcting me the whole time and stuff. I'm sorry. No, yeah, I genuinely could not see the chat. Sorry about that. Correct me in the Discord. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and end the podcast here, though. I will try and do these on a regular basis. My idea is to do them on Fridays. So I'm getting caught up in the Discord right now. So Isaku was correcting me. Those are covers, not published games. Oh, okay. Okay, Isaku's correcting me on stuff. This is going to be way too confusing. Sorry. But hopefully Twitch doesn't shit the bed and I can read chat next time. But no, thank you guys so much for watching. I had fun. I'll try and do these on Fridays after work typically, so expect them around 4 to 5 o'clock. So, yeah. Hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. Peace. Thank you.